This video is made with generous donations from amazing furries, just like you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to class. Today we'll be covering what to expect when you make your first fursuit. But before we get into materials and tools and methods and all that jazz, I want to make sure you have an idea of what you're going up against. So I'll be covering everything from creation time to mistakes to make sure you're prepared for your first venture into fursuit making. Number one, creation time. As I've gotten in a lot of practice over the years, my making time has gotten a lot faster. It's the same for other long-time makers, but you, my friend, are a little baby maker, so I'd recommend not giving yourself a time limit for your first time. It's going to take you a lot more time than makers you see showing time-lapsed footage of their creation process. Neither should you take their answer to the question, how long did this take you, as a clear indication of how long it will take you. This is a new skill set you're developing. Rome wasn't built in a day, and your speed will increase with time. For now, take all the time you need. Even if your first fursuit creation takes a whole year, it will take as long as it takes. So be sure to not put a time expectation on yourself and take all the time that you need. Number two, mistakes. You are new and you will make mistakes. Old makers make mistakes. New makers make mistakes. We are not factories, and especially when you start out, you're gonna make a lot of them. We make mistakes so we can learn and do better for next time. So don't beat yourself up and do the best with what you have, and then when you have better, do better. I suspect your first creation or two will likely be for yourself or a friend. So as you wear the suit and as it ages, make note of what breaks and how often. Then you can refocus your work efforts on those areas to improve your craft over the long term. Along those lines, as you get your suits out into the world, you may have to do more warranty repairs in the beginning than further down the track. I'll be going to more detail about what to expect when you take commissions and sell your suits in terms of expectations of quality, etc. on my Patreon, and that video is up right now, so be sure to check it out. But for now, let's move on to the quality of your first couple of suits that you make. Quality. Now, we all know that my first fursuit wasn't of great quality. And chances are, after your first few suits, you'll look back on your first and go, oh God, why? Please make it stop. But that doesn't mean you can't be proud of your first attempt. We need to make sure we have reasonable expectations on ourselves when we try something for the first time. Chances are your first isn't going to be as high quality as you'd like, but that's just how we learn. Your quality will improve at your own pace, so I'll quickly cover a few quality issues that I see really commonly with first timers just to keep an eye out for. Shaving messiness, asymmetry, eyes looking a little bit off, shapes looking like blocky and not smooth, a strange fit inside the head, and just an overall durability not being quite where you like it. But guess what? These are all perfectly normal. You're not a bad maker, you're just human. Make steps to improve your work over time and just keep practicing. You'll improve super quick, I'm sure. Learning. The making landscape is ever changing. New techniques and methods are coming out all of the time, and some you might find later than others, and it'll make you feel a little bit silly and why didn't I think of this sooner? And you will develop your own methods too. You will learn some things from your own experience and lessons of others too. And remember, just because you disagree with how someone else makes doesn't mean it's not a valid way to make. As long as it doesn't endanger the health of the wearer, it's 100% okay. So don't be afraid to experiment, it's how we innovate. And all of those mistakes, they're ways to learn as well, so try your best to just enjoy the process. Expenses. Starting to make is arguably when you'll be spending the most out of pocket to get going. Furs, foam, tools, machines, things you forgot about, new materials to place ones you used but weren't happy with, just so much more. Unfortunately, there is a reason that fursuits cost so much money, and a lot of it is to do with manufacturing costs. Fur is expensive and tools are even more so keep that in mind as you go, and make sure to not overexert yourself financially. Prioritize living expenses first, guys. We are in a cost of living crisis here. All right, I scooted my camera forward because I like this framing better, so you guys can really just be chilling with me. It's fine. And finally, let's talk about mess. Fur is never a clean material to work with. It's going to get everywhere, on everything, and everyone that you love. There's an unfortunate amount of rubbish and waste made, so be prepared to make your room look like a bomb's gone off. And be sure to clean regularly and wear a mask if you develop a cough or an itchy throat to protect yourself from particles in the air from shaving and trimming. So I think that's just about it, and I think we are ready to move on to our materials. That's exciting. So for the next few lessons, we'll be talking about furs, foam, and tools I recommend and where to buy them. If you're keen on learning what to expect when you start to sell your suits and a bit more detail on things to expect when you're starting out, be sure to check my extra credit class on my Patreon that's available right now for all tiers. And your homework this week is to do research, watch some tutorials, watch advice videos, read old fossilized forums and see what people have been up to. Get excited for your project. And thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you next lesson. Bye now.